Right then, this is a quick walk around video. This is for a Lexus CT200 Premier. This car's covered just 56,000 miles, finished in black, which looks stunning on the car, with the, I believe it's called oak and beige interior, which again looks absolutely beautiful. The car has a wonderful full Lexus service history and is in absolutely fantastic condition. Coming around the front, lights and lenses, you can see they're completely clear and intact. I do apologise by the way, it's a bit windy today and it's just starting to drizzle a bit, but I'll do the best I can. But the car's so clean it almost hardly matters. Bonnet hardly exhibits a stone chip anywhere. It's a real lustre to the paintwork on the car. Near side, absolutely mirror smooth in the panel work. Coming around the back of the car, bumper corners again lovely and clean, as is the whole of the rear bumper section. And around to the offside, the driver's side, again it is absolutely clean in the panel work. So externally, it's really hard to find faults. There will be the odd tiny little mark, but you have to look very hard indeed. So coming into the boot area now, as you expect from Lexus, it's beautifully finished and it's been kept absolutely beautifully back here. So coming into the back now, it literally looks as though the car's never ever been used in the back. The leatherwork is absolutely factory fresh, it looks stunning. Coming to the front driver's door card, again wonderfully clean. There is a full set of original Lexus mats fitted to the car, and front passenger seat there again in absolutely beautiful condition. So finally come to the driver's door card, again all very nice indeed. Obviously electric memory seats on this model car, and driver's seat again is in really lovely condition. The only one which will show any kind of wear, but it's minimal for a car that's 7 years old. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Wonderful interior on these cars, looks absolutely fantastic. You get the pop-up sat-nav there working exactly as it should. Dual zone climate control system, again all functioning perfectly. And you get that wonderful Mark Levinson stereo. Heated seats, adjuster there for the different engine modes, but it's been kept wonderfully well. Come across to the main binnacle, I'm panning there for you. You can see there 56,104 miles, and again if you change the mode, you put it into sport mode, you get that red glow and the tacho comes up as well. Looks absolutely stunning. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200 and it's the Premier model. This particular car is registered MT13MFF and mileage showing currently is 56,098 miles. The reason we do these videos really simply is basically we just want people to see the cars that we're advertising actually in operation. We know to our cost, unfortunately, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look fine in the photographs and in the description given, only to get there and drive it and find out it's actually got a fundamental issue which shows up whilst test driving the car. So that's why we do it. I apologise, it's a little bit later in the day than I'd normally do it, so if it gets a bit duller later in the video, I do apologise, but I'm pressed for time to get these done. The car, this particular car, been beautifully looked after. Obviously all its servicing been done by the Lexus main dealers, and I have to say it feels it straight away. It feels pretty much like I'm driving a brand new car, and that's the world's biggest cliche when it comes to used cars, which I'm fully aware of, but it really does. You press power button to start the car and settles to, you know, whirs into life. It's a wonderful powertrain the way they do these. I've said before that the best description I can give is there's a seamless quality to the way they deliver their power, because it's very quiet, it's very, very refined, but in conjunction with the gearbox and the way the hybrid system works, it's a bit like just put your foot down, you kind of catch up with the noise, and it's kind of the best description I can give, because it's quite unlike any kind of internal combustion engine and conventional gearbox in the way it does that. It really is very, very pleasant indeed. Different modes of driving, you've got eco, normal and sport. Sport obviously changes the style of the dashboard, but does pick up, it's noticeably different. The noise is different as well. There's an urgency to the drive. I prefer driving in sport mode, in all honesty. I think it's just the nicest setting for the car. You get an immediacy with the throttle response, which you don't get in the others. It's obviously very economical in all of them, in all honesty. Worth pointing out, there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Engine obviously then feeds through into the gearbox. There's nothing really to check because it's just so smooth. There's no clunks or delays or gear changes as such, but it engages perfectly, as you'd expect. But in all honesty, these gearboxes are designed to take hundreds of thousands of miles, so there's nothing much really to look for on them. Steering of the car is really nice. It's very fluid, very accurate. Really nicely judged actually for the car and the type of car it is, because don't get me wrong, it's not an out and out sports car, far from it. It is a very refined hatchback, and it flows beautifully with the steering. Really, really nice, and the chassis and the steering complement each other really nicely. It also feels incredibly taut on the road. It tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. It just feels perfect in that sense. Same goes for the suspension of the car. What I'm looking for on road testing, the reason I say it at this point here is for this bump here, which is horrible, but it's a really good test of a car. So if it's got any kind of knocking noises or chatterings coming from underneath that shouldn't be there, that is where it shows up, but there's nothing at all. The suspension also gives you a very well judged ride. It's typically Lexus comfortable. It's, wonderfully able to smother the bumps, but it also allows the car to flow very nicely through corners at speed. I've driven a couple of them now because they're relatively new to us, but it's a very, very capable vehicle if you push on. Coming to the brakes of the car, just make sure there's no one directly behind me when I do this, but I'm going to give them a bit of a shove. So it's a nice powerful brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for on any car, but in particular automatics, is any kind of pulsing or vibration coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all on the vehicle. It's all exactly as it should be. So coming to the interior, first things first, Lexus build cars absolutely beautifully. They really do. There's no squeaks, no rattles, not even a hint of a buzz from the interior, and a lovely place to sit. It's very unique in the dashboard design. It's beautifully manufactured. All the buttons have a real quality of actuation to them, and everything working exactly as it should. So you've got the sat nav there, which pops up. Air conditioning pumps out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. And the stereo is brilliant. It's a Mark Levinson stereo in the car, so if you like your music, because the car's so quiet, it allows you to listen to the finer details of music, but it's a really, really impressive system on the car. Everything that I've pressed thus far working exactly as it should, by the way. It is modern in here, but it's not a car that you get in and phases you. There's so many cars I've jumped into and seem unnecessarily complicated. This, it satisfies the more techie people in the world, but it also doesn't alienate people who aren't, and I think that's a really, really good thing. So things like the climate control system, separate, you can do it both ways, but it's really simple to operate, as are all the functions of the car. As I said at the start of the video, and I apologise there, it is getting late now, the purpose is literally just to show the car in operation and driving along. And as expected, and as I already knew, the car drives absolutely perfectly. It just feels wonderfully tight. As always though, if you've got any questions about the vehicle, don't hesitate, do give us a call.